This is page 2. Okay, so we've got this graph right. We need to rank the following quantities in order from smallest to largest. Okay, so basically this is asking us about derivatives. So let's see. All right, so one of them is 0. All right, so f prime of 0. So that's saying the derivative at 0. Well, the derivative is the slope of the tangent line. So I'm going to go over to 0 and I'm going to kind of draw a tangent line like that. Okay, got the derivative at x equals 1, so I'm going to look at that. I'm going to be like, okay, so that's that slope. F prime of 3, the derivative there, so that's that slope. And then f prime of 6, that's that slope right there. Okay. So now if I put them from smallest to largest, well, let's see. Slope of that, slope of that, slope of that, slope of that, and then also 0. So the absolute smallest, it's going to be one of the negative slopes for sure. And this one's more negative. So this is f prime of 6, so that's the smallest. Then of these three, this one's the other negative one, so that's f prime of 3. Then 0 comes. Now these are the two left. These are both positive. This one's a little bit smaller because it is less steep than this. So it goes f prime of 1. And then the last one is f prime of 0. Okay. I gave you guys these questions earlier in the year and like everyone messed it up, so these are important. Okay. So here's the graph of a function. We need to sketch the graph of the derivative. Okay. So let's think. Well, let's see. Okay, so the derivative of a function is the slope of tangent line. Well, this is linear, right? So what's the derivative of a linear function? Or what's the derivative here? It's just the slope of the tangent line, but it's just a line, so it's literally that thing's slope. So whenever x is negative, I mean, I don't know. Let's have a look. It looks like the slope is negative 3/2 or something like that. Let's see, down 3 over 2. Yeah, so negative 3/2. So literally, that's the derivative right there. And then for this section here, it's just the slope here. That slope is worth 1 right there. But I've got a hole here and a hole here. Well, how does that work? That's because the function doesn't have a derivative here. It is not differentiable. The derivative from the left and the derivative from the right don't match. So it is not differentiable at 0. So there's no derivative at all. So it doesn't exist. So that's it. Over here, you guys were a little better at. This is a function. We need to sketch a graph of its derivative. So what you should be able to do is find some key points, right? So like here, okay, the derivative is worth 0. So I'm just going to plug that in. Okay, here it's worth 0 as well. So you should get that. Here, look, there's a kink. So the derivative literally doesn't exist. So okay, that's fair enough. Now I'm looking at this function, and this is that layer cake thing. So from here to here, right? Let's see. The function is increasing. Okay, so if a function is increasing, that means the derivative has to be positive. It's increasing faster here and then sort of slows down, which means that there's our derivative. The rate of increase gets a little bit lower. Now, between these two zeros, let's see if the function is decreasing. That means the derivative has to be negative. Like right here, that's going to be pretty close to 0. Right here is going to be close to 0. It's going to kind of look like this. Not perfect, but it's going to sort of look like that. Then let's see, from here up to this point here, the function is increasing, so the derivative has to be positive, and it gets steeper and steeper, so it's going to kind of look like this. And then the derivative doesn't exist here. Remember, we talked about that, so then it just sort of disappears. And for this little interval here, the function is decreasing. Now this is actually a little bit tricky. Okay, so I'm going to slow down. The function is decreasing, which means the derivative is negative. Well, right here, is it a little bit negative or is it like a lot negative? Well, let's see, drawing a little tangent line. Oh, okay, so that's like pretty darn steep. So that means the derivative is quite negative. What about like right here? There's our tangent line. Yeah, it's a little bit negative. So it's kind of like more there-ish. So, I don't know exactly what it looks like, whatever. Kind of something like that. And what I've just drawn in is a pretty good picture of the derivative. Okay. Last one on this page. I'll try to be quick about it. In the graph below, we're given a function and its first and second derivatives. Decide which is which, then answer the following questions. All right, so I haven't looked at this yet, so let's see. I'm actually going to pause it right here.